So it is 4 o'clock in the morning and we are leaving for our first trip from Pune to Mumbai in the Ignis EV. And we shall also be carrying with us today a range extended version, which is our own version of the E2O. This being the prototype version, I do have a separate display here to show the battery percentage.
The Ignis EV has a total battery capacity of 23 kilowatt hours.
This E2O has been fitted with a 30 kilowatt hour battery pack. We're starting off with 100% in the E2O and 100% in the Ignis as well. Alright, let's go. We are in our first kilometer. So I've been driving electric vehicles between cities for quite some time now, but the main differentiating factor here is that today I'm driving one of my manual transmission cars, and the main experiment here for the day is to try and reduce the consumption using a manual gearbox and get best range. So as you can see, I can change my current consumption at the same speed based on the transmission, based on the gear that I select. For example, right now I'm in 5th gear and it's consuming close to between 20 to 30 amps at 40 kilometers an hour. And if I were driving the same in 3rd gear, it would be consuming a higher amount of energy, somewhere close to 40 amps, which is why single speed transmissions in our opinion run a lot less efficient. So as you can see, it's running at 37 amps and at a speed of 40 kmph. So which is why we are going to drive the whole journey in 5th gear today unless required, and see what sort of efficiency we get today. So driving at 60 to 70 kilometers an hour in 5th gear with an average energy consumption of 28 to 30 amperes. So we've got the E2O following us, but the E2O driver has specific instructions of keeping up with me and not looking at the energy graph while driving, so his energy consumption would depend on my driving. Funny thing. So we would be crossing 10 kilometers and we've got 95% left. Ignore the blinking fuel light and the engine check light, as this being one of the first version is not incorporated with a few details that the production version is equipped with. So there are a few errors on the screen, but yeah, that will be fixed in the production version. So in order to reach my destination, my target is to cover 2 kilometers every percent. So as of now, we have done 10.8 kilometers and we've got 95% left. So sounds like we are running as per plan. So we're on the expressway here and the legal speed limit is 100 kilometers an hour. So we will be maintaining between 80 to 100 based on the speed limit zones. But the good news is I've been traveling in, so there it is, we've got 100 kilometers an hour as the speed limit. So the good news is we've got the energy consumption down to between 75 to 90 amps based on the gear that, based on the terrain and the gear that I'm in. So I would be driving it in 5th gear all along to save on maximum energy. And as you can see, I am driving between 80 to 100 kilometers an hour, which is sort of the most comfortable speed here on the expressway and also legally allowed. So that brings us to the point of efficiency. Suppose I was driving a car with a single speed transmission, something similar to the ones used in most production electric cars. I would probably be close to driving in 3rd at the moment, which would then keep my energy consumption quite high. But as of now, I clearly can see that I'm able to save a lot of current that is being drawn every second thanks to the multi-speed transmission. So there is a constant wee bit of upslope from Pune to Lonavala, so we would be expecting some high energy being consumed on the stretch. However, of course, once the downslope starts, we would be into regen mode and capturing most of the energy going downhill all the way until Kharagpur. And from Kharagpur, then we would be again driving a little bit upwards and then flat onto Mumbai, which is when we would be consuming probably constant average amount of energy. So climbing up the slope in 5th gear at 80 kilometers an hour, we are consuming close to 67 amps. So the target is to accomplish 2 kilometers per percent. As of now, we are at 88% and we have done 24 kilometers. So I guess we are pretty much on track. So we've crossed the toll gate, and what I am going to do is I am going to accelerate a little bit in 2nd and then put it directly in 5th gear in order to save most amount of energy. One of the best things about driving an electric car with a manual transmission is that because of the enhanced efficiency, you can also have the AC on for almost full time. Although it's a bit cold, the AC is on and it's set on 22 degrees since the beginning, which is the temperature I'm most comfortable at. And that gives us flexibility of traveling with efficiency. So we're in the 100 kilometer zone now, so we're going to speed up until 95 kilometers an hour to be on the safer side, so we stay under the speed limit. But all of this straight patch, basically you can drive at 100. Yeah, we've got some idiots speeding much higher than 100, but that's alright, that's up to them. Being an upslope, we are consuming a little bit of higher current here, which shows that energy required on an upslope is quite high, drastically. So this should be about just 3 degrees probably of upslope, and it has increased the current consumption by 1/3, which is quite high. So this is basically why electric vehicles have to be driven in a particular way to be extremely efficient. The throttle control has to be very, very nimble. Because of the slight upslope, we are falling a bit back on our target. We've done almost 37 kilometers and we have 81% left. So we should have been at 38, but we are 1 kilometer behind. So the target was to do 2 kilometers per percent. We are now at 40 kilometers and we've got 80%. So we're pretty much on track is what I would say. Kilometers an hour seems like a nice speed to cruise on the highway, especially with 100 speed limits. Oh, look at that, that's our E2O and it's being driven constantly at 90 kilometers an hour, and it can be done because of our extension battery pack that we've included in this car, which gives it the capability of traveling at highway speeds with AC for long distances. maintaining 95 kilometers an hour on a slight upslope in 5th gear is causing me to drain almost 90 amps constantly, but still I would say it's pretty much within our limit, as we've covered 47 kilometers and we have 76% left. And mind you guys, this is with the air conditioning on. Thanks to the big battery pack in the E2O, driving continuously at high speeds is possible for long distances. So you can say goodbye to driving conservatively in a Mahindra E2O with our 30 kWh battery pack. So we are crossing 100 kilometers in our journey today, and we have 60% battery left. We are way within our targets. A nice early morning in the city of Mumbai. We've done 116.5 kilometers in our journey with 53% battery left. Enjoying the morning weather. Still got 41 kilometers left to go. Should be easily possible. We are at 124 kilometers distance covered with 50% left. We are approaching the Washi toll Naka. It's just 7 o'clock in the morning and I am already stuck in Bombay traffic. I've got another 29 minutes of drive, 20 kilometers left with 44% battery left and 137.8 kilometers on the auto. We've covered 139 kilometers and we're driving the city of Mumbai. We have 44% battery left. We've been driving with the AC on. Got another 19 kilometers to go ahead. We should make it, not a problem. And then we're gonna charge in Mumbai and drive back to Pune shortly after. Now we've done almost 150 kilometers and we have 39% of battery left, giving us an effective range of 250 kilometers roughly with AC on our trip from Mumbai to Pune. So we are very close to our final destination. We've got just about 3.5 kilometers left and about 155 kilometers on the odometer. We have 36% battery still left. Gives us an effective range of close to 250 kilometers, including the downslope of course, but with AC. And at standard driving speeds, which means we've driven on the highway between 80 to 100 kilometers an hour and in city conditions at about 60 kilometers an hour based on speed limits and terrain conditions. But overall, I think having a manual gearbox has really helped us achieve a really high level of efficiency in this electric vehicle. So let's reach our destination, plug in the car on charge, and get ready to leave back for Pune. Sounds good. 157 kilometers, another 1 kilometer to go. 35% battery left. And in the E2O we have 55% battery left after traveling 160 kilometers. Please bear in mind this was done at almost top speed of the car with air conditioning on. So this car is easily capable of 300 plus kilometers on a single charge in standard driving conditions without being too conservative. So what we've done is we've carried our express charger along with us, which is helping us charge the car faster with the 3-phase connection. And hopefully we can charge this vehicle now in 1.5 hours and then get ready to leave for Pune again. We've charged the car fully and now we're headed back to Pune. So we've done 1400 kilometers. Let's reset the trip. Let's reset trip B to 0 so that trip A shows us the entire journey and trip B is our way back. So we thought about driving back in the evening instead of the afternoon, so we encounter some traffic as well as the load of the headlights to calculate a better efficiency. So we've left it 6 o'clock from Mumbai and we've done 4.1 kilometers as of now. We've got 98% left. I've shifted the SOC meter on top so it's easy to view. And let's hope this journey goes well back to Pune. We've got the AC on 22. The Ignis EV. So we're stuck in Bombay bumper to bumper traffic. We've got 93% left, done 17.3 kilometers. And because of the bumper to bumper traffic, the AC and the auxiliary lighting is consuming quite a lot of energy. But we're still above our target, which is 2 kilometers per percent. So I think it's okay. We are stuck in Bombay traffic jam at Bandra Kurla complex, BK3. Traveling over the BKC flyover with 19.6 kilometers on the odometer and 91% still left as battery capacity. Because we are in 5th gear, it's consuming extremely low amount of energy to keep the car cruising at 50 to 60 kilometers an hour. It's consuming barely 19 to 20 amps. So that's what makes it most efficient. So we've got 90% left and we've done 24.6 kilometers, which means we are getting 2.46 to 2.5 kilometers to the percent with a battery pack as small as 23 kilowatt hours. So as you can see, I'm trying to control the energy required to climb up a slope, but still I am consuming close to 64 amps at 40 kilometers an hour. It is quite a steep gradient, and as the surface levels, we have dropped down to 30 amps. Now this is because it was in 3rd gear. Had it been in a higher gear, it would have consumed slightly less. However, I would have not got the acceleration that I was looking for. What I'm also going to show you is how the regenerative braking is shown on my display at the end of this flyover. So as you can see, the energy consumption here is shown in terms of amperes in minus and plus. So minus means it's drawing energy, and then when I release the throttle, it's going to go into regenerative mode, which means it's charging the battery. As you can see now, it is charging the battery. So we've got 83% of battery capacity left, and we have done 42.3 kilometers at the moment. We have crossed Nerul and we are headed towards Pune. The battery consumption has been very efficient so far, thanks to our efficient driving tactics. We're getting close to 3 kilometers per percent. We've got 83% of battery left and we've done 42 kilometers. We are crossing, I think, Washi. We've got 70% on the SOC meter and we've done 76 kilometers, which means we are getting an average of 2.5 kilometers per percent, and that too from a battery pack of just 23 kilowatt hours, which means this car is definitely being capable of delivering a mileage in the range of 90 watt hours a kilometers with AC and 2 people in standard driving conditions. We're driving at 80 kilometers per hour on this slight upslope, and we're consuming 50 amps. We're doing 90. I can also do 100, but I don't want to because I want to save some energy, drive more economically. Although I've noticed that it's not making much difference, that little bit of difference could be energy saved, which I can use on the uphill. So we have reached the food plaza and we have 64% left with us, and we've traveled 85.3 kilometers. let's go have some coffee. We've got 64% of battery capacity left, but we thought we should do a quick top up, so we're a little bit on the safer side, just to be sure of having enough juice left in case there's a traffic jam or if we need to take a detour, because it's a little bit in the night time. We have got permission to charge from this amazing place, Walker Pasta. This guy's really kind and he's providing us a connection to put our charger in the vehicle. So we've just plugged the car in for charge and it's charging at 20 amperes. We're doing a quick small slow charge top up while we have coffee, while I enjoy my delicious Starbucks coffee. The car is also getting juiced up. So we've charged until 69%, which means we've got 5% extra, which we can minus from the final calculation. Back on the expressway, now the ghat is going to begin, which is the upslope. And this is where we need to be careful of how we accelerate and how we maintain our speed the most, because we have to be sure that the battery is being consumed in an optimized way so that we can reach home. Let's check the readings before and after. We are at 86 kilometers on the odometer with 69% on the SOC meter. And let's check what happens once we cross Lonavala, which is after all the upslope. So the good thing about electric cars is that it's got a lot of torque at low RPMs, which is why I can climb the entire ghat section in 5th gear alone. This would make sure that my consumption is at minimum while I'm also keeping up with traffic. I don't need to downshift as long as I am going below, say, 20 kilometers per hour in bumper to bumper traffic situations. Until then, I can just keep it in 5th gear and keep driving.
The only downside of this would be that the acceleration is limited since I'm driving in a higher gear, which could cause problems during overtaking. So I'm going to keep my speed as much as possible constant.
We're already consuming at 105 amps. As the gradient is increasing, the current consumption is increasing, but that's expected, so that's okay. This is probably the most steepest section of the entire ghat, and the consumption at 60 kilometers an hour is close to 120 amps in 5th gear. So I think that's the most it needs to maintain speed, not to accelerate but to maintain speed. So we're through the upslope. When we started at 86 kilometers and now it is at 103, which means we climbed 17 kilometers from Khalapur until Lonavala, and we started off at 69%, now we're down to 52, which means we consume 17%. So that's 1% per kilometer is the consumption that we've got to climb this upslope, all in 5th gear, all between 50 to 70 kilometers an hour. And now that the upslope is over, we are going to speed back up to 80, 85 and sometimes 100 when the speed limits permit us. So let's do it. Let's head back to Pune. We've got 52% and we have approximately 58 kilometers left. Should not be a problem. my cell phone battery basically died, because of which I was unable to cover the rest of the return journey. But the vehicle reached back with 25% of battery capacity still remaining. And so this is the powertrain that helped us drive all the way to Bombay and back. It's been a lovely drive, and the total distance covered was 320 kilometers. It was done using 65 plus 75, which would be 140%. So we used 140% to drive 320 kilometers.